In the summer of 1996, a couple of college students unexpectedly found something while hanging out by the Columbia River in Kennewick, Washington. To their surprise, they found the skeletal remains of a person which was washed up on the shore of the river. They quickly called the police station, who then gave the remains over to the coroner and a local archaeologist named James Chatters to help identify the remains of what they thought might be a possible murder suspect. When he took a closer look at these remains, he found a stone spear point in the hip bone, which gave Chatters the inclination that these bones might be older than what he originally thought. Chatters performed many other tests on these remains to find a true date on them, and after radiocarbon dating, he found them to be over 9,000 years old. He named these remains the Kennewick Man. The discovery of the Kennewick Man, which at first was thought to just be an ordinary skeleton, turned out to be the oldest and most complete skeletal remains in American history. This incredible finding was monumental in the study of science, and archaeologists all over the country agreed that these remains could provide a lot of new information and give a glimpse of the America's unknown history. However, very soon after Chatters made the discovery, it quickly gained the attention from many Native American groups. The Native American people claimed that any human remains which were found in America from that long ago must have been their ancestor, since they were the first people here. They thought the scientists were being very disrespectful to their supposed ancestor and demanded possession of his remains. This led to the very tough debate of, who does the Kennewick Man actually belong to? This is a very complicated question, and there are a lot of factors that tie into this answer. But in my opinion, I believe that the Kennewick Man belongs to the scientists who found the remains. The first reason why I believe that the archaeologists should have ownership of the Kennewick Man is because there is not enough proof that he is actually of Native American background. He was not found on a specific Indian burial ground, but rather his remains were found near a river by students who then turned them over to the police. Also, his remains were not intentionally dug up by someone, but rather washed up onto the shore of a river. Because of this, I do not believe that these remains are protected by the 1990 Native American Graves Protection and Repatriation Act, or NAGPRA, which prohibits the desecration of Indian remains. Also, because these remains are so old, it may be impossible to find any cultural affiliation to them, so it cannot be said that he is truly Native American because there is no definitive way of tracing his ancestry unless the archaeologists do studies on it. Another reason why I think the archaeologists should have possession over the Kennewick Man is because since the Kennewick Man's remains are a one-of-a-kind and monumental discovery, I think we can learn a lot from studying them. The Kennewick Man is the oldest and most complete skeleton found in America, and it can provide a lot of information which is unknown to scientists. These studies can help clarify any misconceptions about what historians believe about America's history. For example, this can help solve the Clovis First theory. This is an idea which archaeologists came up with based on arrowhead artifacts which were found in animal fossils from over 10,000 years ago. It is believed that people may have been around during this time in America, which would have made the arrowheads, but it has not been proven yet because no skeletal remains have been found anywhere in North America from that long ago to support this theory. The Kennewick Man could be the missing link of history to the Clovis First theory and may be able to solve any other historic mysteries in America. In conclusion, I believe that the archaeologists should have ownership of the Kennewick Man because I do not think that there is enough proper evidence to prove that he is of Native American descent. I also believe that it would be very beneficial for the Kennewick Man to go to the scientist because he can provide a lot of historical research which would be impossible to discover without him. However, since the Native Americans truly believe that he is their ancestor, and it deeply upsets them that his remains are being disrespected, I believe that after the archaeologists have done a sufficient amount of study and gathered all the information that they can on the Kennewick Man, the remains should be returned to the Native Americans to be properly buried instead of putting the remains into a museum.